Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, Larry W. Brooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in the lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week. But this week is a very special week. Today is Health and Wellness Week on the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, man. We want to talk to everyone in the audience about health, wellness, how to make sure we keep the momentum that we've been building, working out throughout the summer months, and make sure we focus on staying diligent during this last part of the year. As always, man, we want to thank everybody for following and subscribing, checking out the show. If you're checking us out live on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe button, man. We want to bring our messages to as many people in our audience as absolutely possible. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, but he is also a member over at the Mean Green Training Center, man. I want to see him represent now because today's show is really exciting for the both of us. I want to take some time to introduce the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on?
Yo, hey, Rick, you know me. I'm Mean Green down to the core, baby. Many years of the trial and tribulations and the successes. So, you know, I'm all the way in. Hey, but you know what? I can't start this without saying this, man. You got them glasses on, you rock and rolling, and it just reminds me of the amazing Deion Sanders, man. You really, I don't know if you know or heard, but you know, I put a play on glasses a week ago before going against Colorado State. He was able to ink a deal where he got paid, where he's getting paid off of every pair of glasses that are being sold when it comes to his like and his image and the ones that he's actually selling with that partnership. So me seeing you in glasses, I'm giving shout out to the first person to do it, the most amazing marketer out there, that guy Deion Sanders, man. So, you know, that was one of my role models growing up when I was getting my back pedal on and getting paid $100,000 for a full scholarship ride to Stephen F. Austin, baby. That was the guy that helped put the blueprint in place for me, man. So just to see him in Colorado State still doing what they do, and you with the glasses on just reminded me on how he inked an amazing deal within 12 to 48 hours. He was able to put something together and get paid off of a statement that another coach made, man. Amazing marketing.
No, I'm glad you had a chance to bring that up because it just really works hand in hand with what we're talking about as far as health, wellness, fitness, and everything of the like. One of the things that those who follow you on social media know is that you have a passion for fitness, exercise. That's something that not only yourself, but I take very seriously. I try to make sure we get at least 3 to 4 workouts in every week. So just from a professional and entrepreneurial standpoint, Mr. Brooks, how has your dedication as far as training, working out with the people over at Mean Green, how has that helped to help your general wellness and your all around, not only professionalism, but your ability to have energy, to be out and to market and promote the way that you do on such a regular basis?
Hey, listen, man, my guy Deion Sanders said it best back in the days, man. You look good, you play good. You look good, you work hard. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the dedication, it's my one thing, right? I've always told when I've sat down with Chris, I've sat down with the team. When I go in and I check in with the twins, I check in with Jason or Jared in the mornings. At the end of the day, my one thing is my physical health, my physical well-being. And the one thing about being in a physically good space, not only do you feel good, and your energy level is always up, but the compliments and the endorphins that are released when you're out in the public and the public is saying, man, you look amazing. You're looking more youthful. You know what I mean? Like you look the same as you did 20 years ago. Like those endorphins that are released, you can't replace that, man. So those are the things that I love, that I get from it. And like you said, man, I've been rocking with Mean Green, the organization since 2013. So many years of just building relationships, friendships. We've traveled together, just been there, family stuff, just a lot of times, man. So, I'm excited about that, man.
Hey, man, could you take a little time, Mr. Brooks, to share with our audience a little bit about the relationship and the background that you share with today's guest and how you were able to have this fine gentleman sit in with us on the show?
Yeah, man. Here's the funny thing is that I actually met Jared when he was training to go professional in the sport of football back in 2018. I was actually working out at the gym, and Jared was being personally trained by Chris at the time. So had an opportunity to meet the young man. And listen, what can I tell you? To see what he's doing now, to see his growth, to see his tie into the growth of the Mean Green training and the new facilities and all of those stuff. Like he was there from a lot of those visions that him and Chris have been able to put in place, and the motivation and energy behind it. So just having him, this young man, being able to be on the show today, going to talk a little bit more in detail about some of the things that he has going on, the way he's going to be growing his personal brand as well, man. I'm excited, man. And it's some funny sidebar conversations that he and I have had when we bumped into each other outside of the gym. So just being able to watch the beauty of the mind, the beauty of the physicalities come all together, and being able to put something that's going to be live and informative and amazing for people, man. So I'm grateful to have my friend and today's guest on the show, man.
Well, look, man, without any further ado, I want to introduce this week's guest. This fine gentleman is not only a fitness expert, a personal trainer, an entrepreneur, but he is also, like Mr. Brooks mentioned, a member of the Mean Green family. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us during Health and Wellness Week. And I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Mr. Jared Garcia. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm good. How y'all doing? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Come on, brother, man. Thank you so much for sitting in, man. It's amazing when we're able to have a member of the team from Mean Green sit in on us, man. The members of our audience who watch us on a regular basis have grown a lot more familiar with the gym, some of the team over there, man. So first things first, Jared, could you just introduce yourself to our audience and talk a little bit about your brand, your business, and what differentiates you in the fitness space?
Man, so Larry, you did a great introduction, man. So first of all, like I said, my name is Jared Garcia. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Jared Armand. As far as fitness is concerned, man, it's a passion for me. I love it. One of the things I think that separates me is just kind of having the ultimate positivity, and I feel like that's what is needed in fitness. Not necessarily just the rah-rah of inspiring people to do another rep, to do this, but sometimes you need some positive energy in your life to actually be amped up enough to do that rep. And that's kind of what I pride myself on in all fitness avenues and really life, because I think that's one of the most important aspects of it all. So, for me, obviously been with the gym, Mean Green training since 2018. I left for a stint. Obviously, I went to go play football, so I left for about 2 years, and then I came back, and I've been with Mean Green since 2021. So, going strong. There's a lot that's going on at the gym that, like Larry said, we're building, opening new locations. I've had a lot to do with some of the changes within the programming, and just, really put my foot into, basically anytime I come into a place, I always want to leave it better than when I got there. So that's kind of my mark that I try to make on every place that I go. So.
Another thing that always jumps out to me, Rick, and that I always appreciate about an amazing trainer is, when we play sports and you play sports at a very high level, you realize how important your energy level is when you're trying to help someone manifest the body that they want, manifest the health challenges that they want. And man, Jared is at the top of that when it comes to it. But I always love the labor that comes from the many years that we put into physical activities when it comes to playing sports at a high level. And when you make it to a collegiate level of playing any type of sport, that is a high level of activity. Only 3% of people are able to gain scholarships in the entire world to play at that type of level, man. So I just want to commend him on just being able to bring that same energy, be able to duplicate things that he's earned over many, many years of being in playing an activity at a high level, and learn how to try to motivate and duplicate that energy to give it to other people, man. Because when you're trying to motivate somebody, it is a challenge every day. So
absolutely,
man. Believe it or not, but when I came, I wasn't necessarily a group trainer when I came. I was a personal trainer. So when I got to Mean Green and I started group training classes, that was my biggest concern. I didn't know if I was going to be able to motivate everyday people. I was so used to being around athletes. I was like, am I going to be able to motivate these people to do what they need to do to lose this weight, to get the energy they need? So I'm happy that you say that, because it really gives me some positive energy.
No, but Jared, I got questions from the audience, and I got to ask, because you just spoke about motivation.
Yes,
now that we're into September, we're going into the holiday months, man. The summer is over. For those in our audience that need your expertise on how to stay motivated to maintain their summertime beach body, even though we won't be going back to the beach for about 9 to 10 months, what do you share with your students and the people who train with you, Jared, as far as how to maintain that stick-to-itiveness that they had when they were thinking about the cruises and the vacations and the pool parties they was going to be going to, now that we getting into holiday time?
So truthfully, I don't like, sometimes we get into these challenges where it's like, hey, we got 60 days before the summer comes up. I'm going to get ready for these 60 days. And the problem that I typically have with that is what happens after that 60 days. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to training, it's all about consistency, and consistency through any season. It's not just a 60-day challenge. When you're done with that challenge, what are you doing then? And for me, going from summer, spring, now headed into fall, winter, we're kind of getting into what are you doing now? So let's say that summer was a challenge for you. Now we're into that fall, winter. Now you're starting to get indoors, more holiday parties. Now we're looking into what have you done to build a consistent pattern. So now you're falling back on habits, healthy habits that you built up to this point. So one of the big things I always preach to my clients is that 80-20 rule. It's okay to not be perfect. Yeah, it's okay, because at the end of the day, if you're striving for perfection, obviously that's what you want. But if you're eating so strict to where it's something that you don't want to do, it's going to be very hard for you to maintain it. Yeah. But if you're eating to the point where you're able to maintain that and it's giving you the results you need, that's your healthy pattern, and that's something that you can maintain through any season of life. So for us getting into that season, I would say, one, don't get to the point where you're like, hey, I can't eat a single carb, I can't eat a single gram of fat. You're not going to be able to maintain that. Yeah. So build habits up to this point, and if you haven't already, now is a great time to start to build habits where, once a week I might eat a burger, or I might have a bowl of ice cream. That falls into your 20%. So it's okay to have that healthy balance to where even when we go into these holiday seasons where we're about to eat that. I eat gumbo and oxtails and all that kind of stuff on holidays.
Absolutely.
When we're about to eat that kind of stuff, make sure it fits within that 20%, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, you know what, Jared? As you mentioned that, it also makes me think back, because I was a heavy watcher of the podcast that you and Chris was presenting out to the public. And I know, I'm not sure if y'all film is seasonal or how it goes, but how can they go back and watch some of those clips? Because you touched on a lot of things you just said. Not only that you touch on these things on your Instagram page as well. So make sure y'all go and follow Jerry for some of these gems that you're going to need to motivate you to get through some of these tough holiday seasons as we get into. But also, Jared, how can they find some of those podcast clips that you all were presenting? Because I think there's a lot of fruit and nurturing inside of that y'all touched on, that people really could go back and just really be like, okay, that's, it can reemphasize some of their journey that they're going to be getting ready to be challenged with.
Absolutely. So you guys can go, obviously, on any platform that you listen to your podcast. It's the Mean Green Show podcast. And then on YouTube, it is under Mean Fitness. So all of the podcasts that we've shot, you can watch them live. Obviously, we recorded them for you guys to be able to see. We gave some good visuals with that as well. And then if you wanted to listen to it, you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple, Audible, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You know, one of the things you mentioned there that I thought was really interesting, and I want to help you reiterate for our audience, is the difference between being a personal trainer and a group trainer. Because I know for myself, I never really thought that the trainer itself would have to differentiate their training techniques depending upon if it was an individual or a larger group.
Yeah.
So could you just speak to a little bit about some of the challenges that come with training and motivating a larger group? And what are some of the benefits to having group training versus individual training? Because I think most people feel more comfortable one-on-one, but you can gain a little bit more strength in numbers.
Yeah. So a great question, first off. A lot of trainers actually, I don't think know the real difference. A lot of people that do personal training think they'd be really good at group training, and then same thing vice versa. But we have kind of people that are good at one thing, and then we have hybrid trainers that are good at everything. So personal training is obviously more so one-to-one. Some people do small groups where it's, up to 3 people at a time, very personalized. So, individual program, I show you what you're doing, you do it. We make sure we go through this program. There's a big piece of accountability, especially when it comes to an hour of their time. So if I'm going to see you at 12, I'm going to see you at 12. So you better be there. So it's kind of a big point of accountability here with that, which is a huge benefit for that. But when it comes to group training, one of the big things with that is you got to think about putting yourself in a room of 20 people, yet you still have to treat those 20 as one. So when it comes to doing a movement, and whatever movement that is, you have to make sure that those 20 are doing the movement the way you want it to be done. So you have to make sure that nobody's in a position to hurt themselves. You have to make sure that the flow of the class is moving well based on the prescribed workout. So group training, it takes a lot more, I think, up here mentally to be able to make sure all of those pieces are into place with whatever workout it is that's programmed. But the good thing, like I said, as a trainer, it really amplifies your personal training skills, because one, you have to be really good at cues, because I might have Larry and I might have Rick in a room. Rick might be, an expert. He played football for 20 years. He knows exactly what he's doing when I say do a power clean. Yeah. Larry, even though I know Larry, I know you got the power cleans down. But Larry, let's say he's a beginner, he might not know anything. So I'm teaching the class to go the same pace, but y'all are on 2 different levels. So me as a trainer, I have to be really good at giving cues with whatever the movement is. So, whatever my cues are. Barbell to your thighs, shrug with your shoulders, whatever those cues are, I have to be really good at giving those to make sure beginner, expert, they understand exactly what I'm talking about. So you don't have to be as refined for personal training, because you could just show them and then you're watching them to make sure that they're doing it right, the way you think about it in your head. And group training is not, you can't just think about it. You have to be able to say it and vocalize. So that's one of the big differences.
Man, listen, Jerry, it's amazing to me, and here's what stands out to me, because when I do mine, I do group training. And I'm always amazed by the expertise that you all have over at Mean Green when it comes to, like you said, somebody for me that actually lifted weights and it was a part of my career for so many years. I got it. And then I'll see, you might have 10 people that you're teaching and coaching and them how to do the routine all at the same time. And, it's always an amazing skill set to me, because throughout my whole life, I was used to people barking orders from different directions, and you're able to catch them and you get it, and you're able to do it. But then you got people that they may have been isolated and never played a sport before. And, they're just at a point in their life where they have to physically be in shape, or at least give their life a little bit of longevity by working out. And they're not used to taking orders being barked from different places. So I always find it amazing that the trainers are able to isolate someone, get them on the right page, and continue to have the flow of the organization, or the flow of the gym, or the flow of the activity going. That's how it's always amazing to me when it's able to be done, man. So I commend you all on being able to lock in and get them in, because I'll be listening to you. Because you even have you have small sidebar conversations that you're able to flow through those, get people back on track, making sure everybody, man, that is a skill set within itself, man. So yeah, man. Not only that, as we actually speak on group training, small shout out. Want to say off top, man, thank you for agreeing to host a Grandparents Love on Saturday, October 14th at the boot camp at Hermit Park. So I'll be putting out more of that information, but I want to personally just say thank you so much for taking that, man. We're gonna, for those of you that are my friends, those of you that are gonna be coming out, those of you that are gonna be doing some work with the nonprofit, man, we are excited. We're gonna have this guy, my friend Jared, hosting it, doing what he do. We're going to get out there and we're going to get sexy. For that one day, you're going to be amazing, people. So we want y'all to be ready to tap in. Again, I'll be sending out more information for the Eventbrite, but it's going to be Saturday, October 14th, 9 a.m. in the morning. Get out there early. Get out there about 8:45, 8:30, so that you can get set up, pick your spot. But we're gonna have more details coming out. But I just want to come in and say thank you so much to Jared in front of everybody right now. Let you know I appreciate you, brother.
That's love, man. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. We got Rick coming back. Rick going in. There we go. Rick, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Absolutely. So one of the things I wanted to make sure I asked Jared, which you spoke on a little bit, Larry, was how much benefit you get from group training. But one of the things I was really excited about was that Jared has a really exciting announcement to make for not only the members over at Mean Green, but for people that may follow him on social media, people that he might have met in his travels all over the world. So Jared, I want to give you a chance to just make that announcement and let everyone know how now they can get involved and interact and tap in with you, sir.
Yeah, man. So I've been locked in over the past couple months, and it's coming pretty soon. But I'm very excited to announce that I am starting myself an online business for online training.
Yeah.
The name of the training brand is called The Process, and just a little bit behind what The Process is, man. For my entire life, actually, let's just go from high school. From high school moving forward, man, I tore my ACL 3 times. All through high school.
3 times?
Yeah. So, every single time, it had an impact on me. It obviously, there's a lot more to the story. I'm not going to dive too deep into detail. But one of the things that I realized through getting through that whole, ordeal was I always had a motor to keep going, and I always had the confidence to keep going. And for me, I had to come to a realization of what was that. Because it wasn't just faith in God. It wasn't just support from my mom. There was something that was giving me confidence to continuously go to push to say, no matter how many times I tell my ACL I'm good. And it was the rehab process that I went through. It was everything that built me back up. I knew that I could continuously do that. And it was a proven process. And I could continuously get myself back to where I needed to be to perform at my peak level. And for me, I see a lot of people right now that aren't at their peak levels of whatever age they're at, 30, 40, 50, 20, because they're, certain muscular problems that they have that they're not addressing. So let's say you have weak hip flexors or weak underactive glutes or things like that within your body that you're not addressing, and it's minimizing the levels that you can perform at. And for me, like I said, I was able to get back to elite level performance based on going through what I like to call the process. So for me, that is what I've put together, and I put it, very, very easily follow along. So, I get on camera, pre-recorded video for you guys to follow along. I target different body parts, making sure whatever ailments you're dealing with, we're hitting those ailments. And my goal is to get people that confidence that had me to where I said, it doesn't matter how many times I tear my ACL, I'm going to keep doing this because I know it's going to work. So that's the process. I'm excited to drop that for everybody.
Yeah, I commend you on that, Jay, because the thing is that a lot of times, who are the best person to teach you something like that, right? Somebody that has been through it and saw the process over 3 times. My goodness, thank the Lord that I never want to experience that like that. But just saying that you are the ideal type of person that can teach somebody on elements, right? Like our ailments. And I remember I always had this one thing about me is I had this little pinched nerve that I got doing power cleans. Wasn't doing them properly or didn't stretch properly beforehand. So now I got to know how to warm up my body in order to make sure that I'm able to do those things. And that injury is not something that's continuing to touch or continue to overstress out my body. So, man, I commend you on being able to do that. That's something that we need. We have to have. And a lot of times I think that people think that you have to be a former athlete in order to understand how that works or how to get through certain elements. But that might not be the case. You might have. I know people that have sprung a hip just getting out of a chair. You just don't know how these things may take place with your body. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rick, I think you're on mute.
Still can't hear you.
Yeah, can't hear you. Rick moved from one side to the next side. That sun started hitting him on his
I
back
know the
too
sun
much.
get a little hot.
He out there playing like he don't know we in Texas still. But hey, at least he put. Now we still can't hear you, so I'm gonna crack a few jokes while we get you back on. This why he got that Adidas headband on, catch some of them sweat coming down.
I know,
I
right?
don't care what it is in the age. You sweating when you walk outside in this city here, man.
Oh,
I'm
man.
hoping that in October, as we get together, that the weather is just right for people, because it's usually October is that month we usually get like a little cool breeze in. So hopefully it's not, we don't get a 100 weather day that day. So hopefully it's closer to the 80s and everybody gets good sweat in and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, it's been feeling better and better. So I believe it'll be a good day that day.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. So as you're starting to put your program together, is it going to be subscription based, or how you plan on doing it with it?
Yeah, so it will be subscription based. Like I said, I'm working on all the intricacies, the marketing, all of that good stuff right now. So like everybody keeps asking me, has it dropped yet? I'm like, no, when it does, you'll know. You'll know. I'm putting a lot into this, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Because I've been seeing you. I follow you on IG, so of course I've been seeing you some screenshots. You putting in some of the back end work.
Oh yeah.
The metrics of studying. So I've been listening. That's how it worked, though.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
The crazy part is I'm really falling back on my prior knowledge of fitness. So the actual fitness part isn't. I hate to say it, but that's the easy part. It's the business side where I'm having to do all of this studying because I want I want to do this right. So that's what I'm studying for. I want to make sure that once this goes out, I'm ready for what I know it can be.
Yeah, and we time Rick, you back? For some reason, it's your audio. Plug in. Is something missing? Make sure everything's plugged in. It's your audio. Okay. I can't even reach the list, but it's your audio. So Jerry, what are your thoughts on the new gym location? Like, how do you think that's going to fit in the matrix of the other two gyms? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I really think so. We kind of built a little triangle in the city now. So obviously we got the north side location. Now we have that Third Ward location, and then we have one out in the southwest. So we kind of have like a little triangle for people to be able to go to. So for those that are inner city, for those that are in the Pearland area, this is a lot closer. I know we had a lot of people from there. For those that are kind of right outside that U of H area, like it's just the perfect gym for the millions of people that live right there in the loop. So definitely excited about the market that we can tap into with the gym so close to East Downtown.
And they got a lot going on in East Downtown too. Like they literally, that's where they have a man, I can't think. I think it's almost 200 acres project that's going up on like right there, right outside of downtown, near East Downtown as well. I think it's called the East River Project. Matter of fact, is what it's called. So the East River Project, man, it's a process that they're making. They're doing everything from commercial to residential to just parks and land that's going to be built out over the next 26, 25 years. So the gym is in an ideal location for just growth and being in walkability, right? That's what everyone's talking about now, being in a space where things are more walkability that they can get to, bicycle to. And so those kind of that the gym is actually located in the area where that's going to be very popular too for people.
Absolutely. And the other thing with the gym is we're not solely doing, the traditional mean green group training. So I'm gonna let Chris announce, everything that's going on, but I'm excited about the expansion of what we're actually tapping into the different markets. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Hey man. Look, I'm even excited about some more surprises coming. I didn't know. All right, exactly. Good. Okay. Rick, let me hear if I can hear you.
No, man. I've been listening to you guys backstage, man. I want to thank you for bearing with me, Jared. I don't know what's going on from a technological standpoint, but one of the questions that I really wanted to ask you, and this is something that Larry has touched on in previous interviews with other collegiate athletes, some past teammates. How were you able to transition from the athletic arena to the business arena? Larry mentioned earlier that Mr. Deion Sanders was his athletic inspiration when he was younger. We all have athletic inspirations, but who served as your professional and business mentor as you transitioned to business ownership? Because you mentioned how important it is to set up the business part of your brand correctly. So who do you look to for that type of inspiration and motivation?
So man, when I honestly that was a hard transition, and a lot of people go through it, and there's even psychologists for people that make the transition from being an athlete to now, let's just call it regular life, right? Everyday life. And I think the reason that's so hard is because we spend, I mean, let's be real. How many years? If you start football at 6, you're going from 6 to 20, whenever it is you graduate. That's 20 plus years that you spend as an athlete. And then when it's done, it's done. Like, all right, figure it out. So that was a hard transition. But in order to do that for myself, obviously Chris Green, the owner of Mean Green, he was huge in that department for me. So I know for myself, I coached football prior to, and then once I was done with that, I was kind of in again limbo. Like, what am I going to do here? Am I going to keep doing that? I don't know. And then I actually made a call to Chris, and he made me think about some things before I actually did it, because obviously being an entrepreneur is not the easiest thing in the world. So he was like, hey man, consider this. And, I came to a decision for myself, and I came down to Houston, and he really just guided me. And I know one of the big things with Chris, he didn't hold my hand through it, but I was always knocking at his door. So for me, it was like, hey, if you know how to get me to even where you are, I'm there. I'm gonna learn everything I can. So that was one of the big things for me, as far as just trying to figure out finding somebody who's where I want to be and continuing to push and give everything I got to get there. So he was definitely my first one. And then most recently, as trying to get into this online business, I've had the distinct pleasure of being connected with my guy, Mark Swist. So he calls himself Mark the Bad Guy, if y'all follow him on IG. But yeah, man, he's helped me tremendously as far as learning the internet game, as far as how to leverage, your following, how to leverage basically your online business. So that's been big for me. And same thing, I'm just knocking at that door, just trying to figure it out, learn what I can.
Yeah, hey man, Mark is a quiet walking legend around these Houston streets, man.
I know it.
Mark is like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know,
you know. I want to thank you so much for your transparency and the way that you've been able to share your experiences, some of the things that you've learned from other business professionals, other athletic mentors. For those people who have made the great decision to live in the city of Houston and to be able to interact with you on a regular basis, when would they have that opportunity? How could one go about scheduling a personal training session with you? Just share that, because I want everyone in the audience who's been touched by not only your story, but need that extra motivational push to get through these holiday months and maintain what they built this summer. Jared, how can we tap in, get involved, meet up with you, and schedule a session?
Absolutely. So I am the boot camp director for Mean Green. So I'm outdoors, Herman Park, Tuesday, Thursdays at 6 p.m., Saturdays, 9 a.m. If y'all are in the city, that is a great time. It's the atmosphere. It's an outdoor workout, so it's completely different from the gym. It's a good time to come out, work out with me, feel me in a different atmosphere other than the gym. Personal training, I do personal training twice a week. I do it on Tuesday, Thursday morning. So spots are limited with that. If you hit me up on Instagram, Jared Armand, we can talk a little bit about if we can work with each other's schedules on that one. So that Tuesday, Thursday. And from that, obviously, like I said, hopefully by next month, I'm getting my online personal training dropped, and you'll be able to train with me every single day virtually, just like this. So.
Hey, man. And who knows? You go out to meet Jared at the Herman Park group training, you might actually see the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Look, there it is.
Getting
if
it going.
Come out on October 14th, you'll see the Texas Real Estate King.
Facts, no doubt about it.
And Larry, and for those who think that your workout videos that you post on Instagram, the workout videos you post on Facebook, this will be their opportunity to know that we don't just film when we work out and this film. Look, man, we're gonna get it going, man. No doubt.
That's right. No doubt about it. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely, brother. Man. Jared, on behalf of myself, Larry's already thank you for the work that you're doing with a grandparent's love. I want to thank you for sitting in, because it's a great thing when we're able to bring the people who make positive changes with us personally. We're able to introduce them to the audience and give them the opportunity to meet not only like-minded professionals, but also those type of inspirational leaders that can help you not only better yourself professionally, but better yourself personally. So thank you so much, man. If you ever have anything going on, please come back to let us know when you're launching your app or
Yes,
your
sir.
virtual training platform, man, because we'd love to get that word out, man. And Mr. Brooks,
Yes, sir.
make sure you continue to do what you do to spotlight me and Green, man, and hold it down with them.
Yes, sir.
So until next time, brother, man, thank you so much for sitting in with us, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure to interview you. And until next time, Jared, thank you so
I
much and be
appreciate you
blessed,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Jared. I appreciate you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Mr. Brooks, for holding it down while we deal with
No
the
doubt.
gremlins in the Wi-Fi system, man. You know, one of the cool things about um, having you come on and speak to the people over at Mean Green is because you light up so much
Man.
because you've been working with them for so long. You guys have such a background and you know how they've not only affected your life, but you've seen them affect other training mates and other people who are members of the gym as well. So just to ask you in closing, how does it feel to actually be able to share these type of professionals that really make a real change with the audience, man? How does that make you feel to be able to expose everyone that follows you and checks out the pod to the Mean Green Training Center?
Yeah, man. Well, here's the thing. I am a living, walking billboard that what we're doing over there or what's taking place over there in the organization is real. You know, a lot of times we get these, fitness enthusiasts and they're able to run a million ads and you really don't get that personal person or that person that really goes through the process and sees the longevity. Most of the people that are attending the 6 a.m. classes with me Monday through Fridays have been there many, many years. We're not just talking about days and weeks. They've been there years going through the process and being consistent. And so I always want to expose that because I think that if it's been able to help me, because I mean, at one point I had got up to almost 240 pounds. Now I keep me a consistent 175 to 180, right? That's my fun spot. That's my happy spot. That's the spot that when I'm out walking around in the streets, people say you look amazing. Listen, that's my endorphin. Those are the things that really give me excitement, really allow me to, successfully move inside of the entrepreneurship journey because of that happy moment. So a lot of times we just got to find out one thing at 6 a.m. That's my one thing. And then allows the gravity of the rest of my day, the rest of my week to be amazing. So, yeah.
Hey, man, look,
I
I
like
think
exposing them, man.
No, I appreciate you being so transparent as far as what motivates you and the value you find in exercise and being able to share these people because, people might follow you on social media. They may follow me on social media and they see we talk about exercise and that type of thing. But I know it's not only a stress reliever, but it gets to the point where it's a part of your personal lifestyle where you feel as if something is missing in your day if you don't get that going, man. So thank you so much for sharing. What's
But
going on this
also,
weekend?
let me just say this to everyone too. Right now, as the gym is getting ready to go into opening a physical location, tap in. Make sure that you following Jared, following myself on Instagram because I'm sharing you opportunities to get some free training and get an opportunity to test drive the vehicle before joining it. So we have everything they're offering right now, everything from 6-day free training, free load, starting off in a free location with free training. And then myself, I have, if you are excited, you want to come in and visit it, I have the capability to add you to a couple of my journeys and just coming in and just test drive the vehicle. And that's the most amazing thing about it, right? Like a lot of times we want to come in and see if the vibe, see if the music, see if the culture is something that's for us. Well, right now at Mean Green, if you want that opportunity to come in and test out the culture, it's there. So make sure you follow Jared, reach out to Jared. When you see those ads being ran, click on them, just put my name, Jared, down as a referral, and it'll give you an opportunity to test drive the vehicle. And there's not a limitation to it right now. So if you got some friends, y'all want to come in and test drive the vehicle together, let us know. Let me know, by all means, I want to put you in a great environment that can be life-changing for you as it has been for me.
Hey, man, I thank you so much for those words, man. I'm sure Jared appreciates it as well. This is the part of the show where we normally ask the Texas Real Estate King what he got going this weekend. Yeah. So is there anything in and around the great city of Houston that you would like to highlight, spotlight, that you'll be attending or being a part of this weekend, sir?
Hey, listen, y'all know I'm a high school Big 5A dad, right? So I'll be attending football on Fridays, and then I'm blessed enough to have one of my sisters. She's receiving her doctorate down in the Dallas area this weekend. So Dallas, I'll be down there. I'll probably be visiting with the ZFT family. I do a running group down in Dallas, but I'll be in the Dallas, Texas area, just really enjoying my family and my sister again, appreciating her. She's gotten her doctorate. So shout out to growth. Shout out to just amazing accomplishments and taking those steps to be not only beautiful, be amazing. So I'll be down there visiting with me and Young L and my nephews and the rest of my family will be gathering to celebrate my sister on getting her doctorate. So shout out to her.
No, outstanding. I want to wish her congratulations as well, because I know how much time, energy, and perseverance it takes to get to that stage. So big, huge shout out and congratulations from everybody here at the show. Oh, and I want to give a final shout out to everybody at Stephen F. Austin State University. They're celebrating 100 years as a university, man. This is a centennial celebration, man. All the cool magazines have come out. They're reaching out to all the alumni. So I want to urge all the lumberjacks and SFA Lady Jacks out there in the audience, man, get involved. It's 100 years of the school celebrating its anniversary, man. If you can get back for homecoming, do that, man. Reach out to some of your friends from college. Reach out to your old roommates, man. I want to take this time to embrace the university and everything the university has provided, not only for yourself, for myself, and everybody who's a proud graduate and alumnus of Stephen F. Austin State University. So big, huge shout out to everybody in Nacogdoches celebrating, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, one more plug before we go, man. I want to give a shout out to our Brooks and Davis merch department. Listen, if you have not gone out and got the new logo, you don't have the new duffel bag that we have out there, make sure that you go to the Brooks and Davis website, click on the link where you can find the merchandise, or you can follow my page or actually follow the Instagram, Brooks and Davis Instagram page, where you'll be able to go directly to the site as well. Get you some merch if you haven't. If you want to support the Brooks and Davis brand, you want to support the Prime Real Estate Network brand, we have a link in our bio here where you can get you some Prime Real Estate Network gear, as well as get you some Brooks and Davis merch. We would love to see you out and about. And the magical thing about it, the excitement that I give you when I see you looking like I look gearing up by the way I'm geared up at, listen, it might be free drinks involved with that. It might just be an opportunity of a free social media post to build out whatever your brand is. But ideally, go out, support the brand, get you some merch, man. Get you some Brooks and Davis merch. Show us that you love us. Send us some posts so we can reshare those posts with inside of the gear, as well as some Prime Real Estate Network gear, man. We love the opportunity for you to support. We're going to repost you. We're going to share the love. That's what we do.
Hey, man, look, big, huge shout out, man. Thank you so much, Texas Real Estate King. Thank everybody over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. Thanks to Mr. Jared Garcia and the team over at Mean Green. If you need Jared, reach out to him on IG. If you need the Texas Real Estate King, you know where you can reach him. If you would like to reach me about buying, selling, or investing in residential or commercial real estate, I'm here for you 24/7, 365. On behalf of myself and Mr. Larry W. Brooks, everyone out there in the audience, until next week, please be safe and be blessed.